For the last few years, one word has dominated every tech conversation: artificial intelligence. It's been the star of the show, the thing everyone points at, the thing everyone argues about. But while we were all staring at the screen, something else was quietly learning to stand up. Not metaphorically, literally. A shift has been underway in robotics, especially humanoid, general-purpose robots, and it's been moving faster than most people realize. Not because someone suddenly invented a perfect robot, but because the pieces finally started snapping together. Better motors, better sensors, better batteries, cheaper hardware. And now, AI that doesn't just talk, AI that can act. And the timing isn't a coincidence, because AI doesn't stay impressive when it's only typing answers. The moment it gets a body, hands, balance, eyes, and the ability to move through your world, it becomes something else entirely. So if you thought the AI era was wild, forget AI, the robots are here. In 2015, the 𝗷𝗂𝘀 Robotics Challenge finals gathered teams from around the world to push robots through disaster response-style tasks: driving, climbing, manipulating objects, often with limited communication to the operator. It was historic, it was exciting, and it was also brutally revealing. Even the best systems were slow, unstable, and expensive. Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers Spectrum reported estimates that some of those humanoids cost anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million. Back then, getting a humanoid robot to walk smoothly was a major victory. And you can see that shift in the new lower end of the market. Robots that are not perfect, but are suddenly obtainable. Is that the future of home robotics? Not yet, but it is the first sign of something bigger. And once the price starts to drop, the world changes. Because the moment robots become cheap enough to be common, robotics stops being a spectacle and becomes infrastructure. In the US, the humanoid push is often framed around one core belief. If you solve the intelligence problem, everything else follows. So instead of pumping out huge numbers, the focus has been on building robots that can understand instructions, generalize to new objects, and operate safely. In early 2025, TechCrunch described the 𝗱𝗂𝘁 as a system that combines visual input and language prompts to control a humanoid robot in real time, specifically emphasizing generalization to novel household items. Boston Dynamics has always been the name people associate with the most advanced humanoid. In April 2024, Boston Dynamics announced the retirement of its hydraulic atlas and unveiled what comes next: a fully electric atlas designed for real-world applications. That is a commercialization move. And once humanoids start appearing in industrial settings, their evolution accelerates because factories generate real usage data, real performance pressure, and real economic incentives. Now shift the lens east. If the American story is smarter brains, the Chinese story is often faster scaling. China has spent decades mastering high-speed manufacturing ecosystems. You can see this in the cultural footprint too. In China, humanoid robots show up in public demos, entertainment, events, viral content, normalizing the idea that robots are part of everyday life. And at the center of the current viral wave is 𝗀𝗎. The Robot Report described 𝗀𝗎 unveiling the G1 humanoid around a roughly $16,000 price point, with about 2 hours of operational time, framing it as a lower-cost entry compared to many competitors. The world has seen this pattern before in phones, consumer electronics, electric vehicles, and robotics may be next. Whenever robots move from labs into homes and streets, the story stops being purely technical. it becomes social, it becomes economic, and it becomes about security. Europol's Innovation Lab released a foresight report examining how robotics and unmanned systems could impact society and crime, explicitly imagining a 2035 where autonomous systems can be exploited by criminals and where law enforcement has to adapt to new types of threats. Even if you treat those scenarios as what-ifs, the underlying principle is not speculative. Anything useful can be weaponized, and robots are useful. That's why the robotics race is also a regulation race. Not to slow innovation, but to prevent the most predictable mistake humans always make with new technology, deploying it widely first and thinking about safety second. So where does this go? The realistic answer is not humanoid robots everywhere next year. The realistic answer is they appear first where the economics are obvious. Warehouses, factories, logistics, hazardous environments. Then gradually they creep toward the home, starting with expensive early models, limited tasks, and heavy constraints. And as soon as they reach a certain threshold, price, reliability, ease of use, adoption accelerates. Because the moment a robot can consistently do a few boring chores safely, people will buy it for the same reason they buy dishwashers, vacuums, and washing machines. Not because it's futuristic, because it saves time. And once robots are common, the question stops being, is this possible? The question becomes, who controls the platform? Who owns the operating system for the physical world? Now, I want to hear from you. Would you allow a robot to enter your life? Would you let one walk through your home, handle your daily chores, and become part of your routine? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like the video. It really helps more people find it. Subscribe to the channel for more deep dive stories on technology, the future, and the forces shaping our world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.